Welcome to the IntraZone Roadmap Pitstop December 2021 edition. This is a bonus monthly show that answers that burning question in your mind. What's rolling out now for SharePoint and related technology in Microsoft 365? We nudged this particular episode into the new years to fully finalize and realize 2021, and so that we could wholly welcome 2022. So, first, Happy New Year! Fanfare! I'm Mark Cashman, Senior Product Manager on the Microsoft 365 marketing team, here in 2022 to help set the ongoing record straight. This month we'll cover what SharePointy things landed in production at the tail end of 2021, plus a few related items and the always fun teasers looking into next month. And to have a little year-end fun, year-beginning informative fun, I have a section in the middle that's all about SharePoint resolutions for 2022. These are top-of-mind goals that Microsoft offers to carry forward and improve your Microsoft 365 intelligent intranet use and expectations. More on this in a few minutes. Okay, help me count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, golden rings of release. 4, 3, 2, 1. The partridge in a pear tree awaits us all. It is time to kick back, get informed about all the tech that rolled out in December 2021. First up, as always, we start with employee engagement. We've got a couple of items, and the first one is the use of Azure Active Directory dynamic groups, which is now supported for SharePoint audience targeting. Previously, we supported Active Directory security groups and Microsoft 365 groups, and now we're supporting dynamic groups to offer a new way to expand how you target your SharePoint audiences. You can start to add them from the audience picker in the areas where targeting is supported in SharePoint. This includes pages, navigation, and selected web parts. One example, think in terms of using a news web part that now more dynamically targets the right people as they come and go or change roles, which means less manual adjustments to a growing personalized intranet. And in this example, who the news targets. Note, if you do not wish to use dynamic groups, the targeting system will continue to support other Active Directory groups, like I mentioned before, security groups and Microsoft 365 groups. Great way to keep your organization more in tune with what you're targeting for them and keep it a way where you have to manage less over time. The next offering is the ability to create and manage verticals in Microsoft Search. Search verticals are tabs on the search results page that show results of a specific type or from select sources. For example, the Files vertical shows results classified as files and makes it easier for people who are looking to find documents and things like that. You can customize verticals in Microsoft Search to meet the needs of your organization or individual departments. Microsoft Search has two types of verticals, out-of-box or default and custom verticals. The default verticals, such as all, files, and people, create easy access to the most commonly used search results. New support for custom verticals in Microsoft Search allows you to customize all the out-of-box verticals for the search experience and add new verticals based on your SharePoint content. This is both a benefit to represent your content more clearly while giving new approved ways for people to slice and dice items as the results are returned to them on the results page. Truly very powerful and another great way where you can customize your organization's search experience. That's it for employee engagement. Before we move on to teamwork, I want to audibly ink a few of SharePoint's 2022 New Year's resolutions. In place of this month's chat with a PM from the OneDrive and SharePoint team, I derived 5 resolutions based on what we shared publicly during Ignite 2021 in November, plus insights that I know I can share based on discussions and their own insights that they are thinking about from the SharePoint engineering team. So it'll be like we had an interview with 5 PMs. Here we go. Resolution number 1. Mentally prepare for more Microsoft Viva goodness. Be it through recent acquisition or continuous innovation, the employee experience is one Microsoft resolves to keep honing and bettering, including deep integration across the Viva suite and with other Microsoft 365 apps and services. Resolution number 2. Power improvements and innovation in Teams. The notion of files, pages, and lists in Teams is the anchor of this resolution. With Viva Connections expanding, the Lists app in Teams getting more features, and the coming page creation experience, SharePoint resolves to further integrate with Teams for the value of your teamwork. Resolution number 3. Offer more to the developer so developers love Microsoft 365. That means more Viva APIs, especially coming for Viva Learning. Graph APIs for labels and events are coming. The SharePoint framework, SPFX, is continually growing, always listening. Connectors and adaptive cards will begin to hit their stride, and the PnP community will shine a beacon of light with samples, guidance, and room to raise your hand with questions, all resolved to enable Teams extensibility in the SharePoint content platform for ISVs, SIs, and corporate developers. So resolution number 3, developers, developers, developers. Resolution number 4, do more with files. This is probably the most recurring one for SharePoint over the years, and we land a lot of this innovation on OneDrive. And OneDrive is poised to resolve a whole bunch of things in 2022, be it Mac support, improved Windows experiences, improvements for how you work with videos and photos, enhancing the files experiences in Teams, and up-leveling how you track and manage access, either as an individual or as an admin. And last, resolution number 5. Keep improving the stability, reliability, security, and performance of Microsoft 365 content services, those content services that power a ton of experiences throughout Microsoft 365. When you download files, they should be fast and reliable. When you click on a link to a site, pages, or news article, boom, it should just load before your thumbs twitch or start twiddling. When working with lists, let there be fewer limitations. When setting policies or putting governance plans in place, do it with more granular control. There is a great team behind the SharePoint infrastructure, and they care a lot about your SharePoint experience in SharePoint, when using OneDrive, when working in Teams or Office, when sharing in Yammer, when viewing videos in Stream, and. We must keep up with you, your pace, and requirements. Resolution number 5 means we keep up with you, not the other way around. Altogether, I am resolved to keep you informed of these resolutions and more as they land and resolve month after month. Now, let's move into part 2 of the Roadmap Pit Stop for December 2021 with teamwork. First up, Microsoft lists lookup columns. Now, it's a seasonal question I have to ask you. Did you recently make a list or check it twice? If the answer is yes, did you make a list and create a lookup column twice? That is what I hope. It truly expands the reach from within the list itself. No matter, I will check with good old St. Metric Nick to see how use and adoption is going so far if you haven't tried it. Lookup columns allow you to connect a list to a column from another list from that same site. Think of it as ad hoc team-level metadata that's easy to establish, update, and use Once connected, you can easily look up other information, like a list of managed devices, and include this in your new list, like a seasonal list of people. That makes it easy to maintain a team-level, centralized list that contains information you use repeatedly, without requiring you to visit the settings page. I think I'll pause here and just say that one more time. To set up a lookup column, you do not require to go to the settings page. Yes! And in this case that I just mentioned with a seasonal group of people with a managed set of devices, that is something that you can imagine using the managed device list often, with possibly multiple lists as people come and go through the different seasons. Note, you can now create lookup columns both for modern lists and document libraries, since document libraries are built on the modern list infrastructure. Woohoo! A twofer. Happy holidays for everybody, for sure. Next up, now you can manage teams and channel-connected team sites in the SharePoint Admin Center. We've enhanced the active site experience in the SharePoint Admin Center to include channel sites that are provisioned when a special channel is added to a team. So with this release, that means a new Teams view that filters the site's lists to only sites that are Teams connected. It also means a new column that identifies the site is connected to Teams. There's also a new column that identifies the team connected site has an associated private or shared channel site. And the ability to manage channel site storage limits. A lot more granular control over how you control Teams and SharePoint connection. And as Teams and SharePoint further integrate, so too do you and all of your capabilities as an admin. Last up for teamwork is one that's very focused on your photos experience. There's now the ability to use markup ink when in edit mode with the high value controls that you'll see in a lot of different places, especially where we started with PDFs. If you have a photo file in OneDrive or SharePoint and you go into edit mode, you can now add ink right there, right in line. With the markup ink, you can draw and add notes to photos to convey messages, reveal and describe patterns, and provide clarity when sharing. You'll be able to draw on photos or highlight a desired section of an image. The color and thickness of the ink and highlighter pens can be changed too. And it can also be applied that the inks can be erased individually or all at once if you no longer need them. All in all, a photo alone is worth 1,000 words. Imagine how many words a photo is worth with ink on it. Yeah. All right, let us move into related technology. I've got 3 for you. First up, loop components in Teams chat. Now, you might still be asking yourself, what is Microsoft Loop? When you try this, you will immediately see what one component of Microsoft Loop is, which is essentially Microsoft Loop components, the smallest component of the Microsoft Loop offering. Next up is Loop Pages. With a collection of pages, you have Loop Workspaces. But we're getting started with Loop components that offer a new way to think and plan and create together. You can send a component like a table, a task list, or a paragraph, where everyone in your chat can edit inline and see the changes as they are made by other people. This makes it incredibly easy to share your thoughts, make decisions, collect data, and track progress together in the flow of work. Loop components offer teams more flexibility in how they get work done, ensuring everyone always has access to the latest information, whether it's contributing in real time or at a time that better fits your team's schedule. Loop components enable you and your team to stay connected without worrying about working with stale information, as components are always live and up to date. Loop! There it is. For sure, try this one today. And that little note that we talked about in a previous episode of the IntraZone, the loop components are actually stored in your OneDrive. So give that a think and you'll get a sense of how these are very shareable, easy to have inline, but very much components, not whole documents, components. Next up and related is a new and improved search results experience for Microsoft Teams. You can find the information you need exactly when you need it with the new Microsoft Teams search results page. We've re-envisioned the Teams search function to make it easier, faster, and also more consistent with the search experience you're used to now across Microsoft products. The new search results in Teams features a redesigned user interface with 4 tabs aligned to the types of information users search for most frequently in Teams. That is the tabs All, Messages, People, and Files. Using artificial intelligence, search surfaces the most relevant results in an easy-to-read, full-page format. Plus, we've added a new question and answer search option that enables you to type a question in the search box and get high confidence answers. We know that you've been waiting for this one for a while. I see tons of comments of always wanting the search experience to be better. So here it is. Here it comes, a better search experience in Teams. Give it a try. Let us know if it helps you discover your team's content more efficiently. And if you reflect back to what I mentioned earlier in this episode about the verticals experience for the search results page in the broader Microsoft 365, it really builds off of that same verticals, same tabbed experience, but very much tailored for Microsoft Teams. Our last related item is a passion project. This is a book that I co-authored with Susan Hanley, along with beautiful illustrations by Rebecca Jackson. It is called Goodnight Subsites. Goodnight Subsites is a classic admin's tale curated over the years by SharePoint users, you, and enthusiasts since March 27th, 2001. The quiet reasoning of the words and the gentle, inspiring illustrations combine to make a perfect, colorful holiday white paper to find your way through the modern intranet. In the great server room, propped up in the cloud, is an IT pro with solutions so proud. Goodnight Subsites, goodnight single bloated site collection, and to all the modernized things in the humming data center, to the picture of weary site owners not sleeping nights, to frustrated users suffering frights, to broken links and broken permissions, to everything, one by one, the brave information architect says, goodnight. So this last related technology object item is one of the most beloved tech PDFs of 2021. Goodnight Subsites is a must-read for every IT bookshelf. So I encourage you to read it today. You can go to aka.ms/SharePoint/Goodnight Subsites. It's a quick, fun, easy read and comes with a very important intranet message. #hub before sub. A huge thank you to Susan Hanley and a huge thank you to Rebecca Jackson and a huge pre-thank you to all that read it and derive the information and share it with others. It was really fun to put together, and it's really fun to have that message out there in such a fun way. Close your eyes and visualize the future that's just around the corner of all of our calendars. Here are 2 teasers for what's coming up in January 2022. Teaser number 1, experience improvements to the Viva Topics cards. You can expand to read longer descriptions, show the job title for contacts, and navigate in context with the live persona card. Teaser number 2, Power BI for SharePoint document libraries. Just go to the Integrate menu, choose Power BI, and then visualize this library. Very nice and very similar to what we offered through lists. That's it with this month's Peek Ahead. We'll share more details and other updates within the SharePoint Roadmap Pitstop January 2022 edition. Yeah, it's later this month, not next month, later this month. As we close out 2021 and open our hearts and computers to 2022, I offer an ode to SharePoint. Page after page, loading with web part and navigation, sites yield to the teams, to their important information. The cloud whirs with authentic authentication. In the folders and files, collaboration is strewn with easy co-authoring. Version 1 is sure to be finished soon. On Microsoft 365, Family Crest bears that mark of productivity through creation, review and approval, and ingenuity. Why, oh why, upon this heap of work do we care? What's the point if you don't share, share, share? So pleased to be here with you in 2022. We've added learn more links per feature, plus a list of important resources in the show notes and in the corresponding blog post on the Microsoft Tech Community, published to the SharePoint community blog. I hope you've enjoyed this roadmap pit stop. Tell Santa to put his sleigh away. It's time to relax knowing that you're all caught up, ready to hit 2022 ground running. If anything still leaves you scratching your head, open questions or concerns, please send us your thoughts and comments to theinterzone@microsoft.com. We're here to put our and your best change management foot forward. Thanks for taking the step with us into the cloud, into 2022, month after month. This is Mark Cashman saying, put all your own New Year's resolutions on the roadmap ahead.